What I'm noticing is, so I've been a seeker since I was very young, and I really have, grown up in a Catholic world, a Christian world, and our culture is kind of has those ideas. So there's always this, thank God that happened, or, oh, there's a reason for everything. There's a lot of words that come really easily because of practice, but that after I say them, I'm like, no. I really want language. I want to be able to talk about, so when I, as you say, Esther says, I did that. And when something doesn't go right, I did that. I feel like I have a lot of momentum or a lot of language, and I'm a word person. I talk for a living. I talk with people. And what you've helped listening to your recordings, and I immerse myself in it, no more news, no more TV, a lot of that stuff, because it helped me have a different narrative. It helped me talk about me in a way that really resonated with me, and life in a way that resonates with me. So
we like all of that, and we're only going to interrupt briefly.
Okay.
We like that you want to talk about what's happening, and we like that you want to talk about how you feel, but we would like to just introduce one really strong recommendation, and that is, when you feel really good, really talk a lot. Include everybody that you can in your high-flying good moments. And when you're concerned about something or disturbed about something, get off to yourself and don't spread the virus, so to speak.
That's exactly what I do.
But it's not so much about not spreading it to another, because you can't give anybody anything that they're not already a vibrational match to, but it's the momentum factor with yourself. In other words, Esther's been playing a game with herself where she's now realizing that if it feels good, keep it going, and if it doesn't, she figures she's got 16 seconds to stop the momentum, and she's almost counting down 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, almost the counting, almost. And when she gets to 1, because continuing to talk about it, once it crosses that 68-second mark, you're no good until tomorrow. Really, that's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah.
You're really no good to yourself until tomorrow if you let those things get a hold of you. There are plenty of people who will send you emails that when you see them, you should have ought to kind of delete them.
Mm-hmm.
Delete.
So the trick is not to freak out.
Don't freak out.
In the middle of like, okay, now I'm not good till tomorrow. Oh, well.
Well, we don't want you to freak out. We just want you to accept it and not beat up on yourself about being no good until tomorrow.
Well, that's part of the freak out.
That's the reason that we're offering it to you in this way.
Yeah.
If you accept that law of attraction is the momentum builder, and that you focused upon something, and it's logical that you would, because that momentum was going maybe before you even got there. So stop beating up on yourself about it. Just accept it, but now make a different choice. Mm-hmm. And so we're always wanting to give you the path of least resistance. Mm-hmm. And the path of least resistance is just don't fight the negative momentum. Mm-hmm. So it's sort of like if you're in the ocean and a riptide gets hold of you. What do they tell you to do? You could fight it until you've exhausted yourself and then you've got nothing left to swim back. Or you could just let it have its way with you, because it will let go of you pretty soon. Mm-hmm. And it's sort of like letting the riptide of negative emotion, let it have its way with you, because it'll let go of you a little bit and you'll be bobbing up there on the surface again. Not drowned.
So I'm not sure what I'm asking, but in a way I want some words or some ways to specifically describe the feelings of knowing and the feelings of if I start to just, if I feel my alignment, a lot of times I can't really look at what is around me, because that'll just take me out of alignment.
The thing that's interesting is that take a word like love and feel it for a moment. Pick an object of attention. Someone that's really easy to love. For many people, it's a pet or a really small child. Pick something that's easy to love and just focus on it and let the feeling wash over you. But recognize the difference between feeling love and trying to articulate it. Mm-hmm. And we just want to say to you that often in the effort at articulating, you take yourself down a wild goose chase that you don't need to go down. So we're encouraging you to be less chatty unless the words are inspired. Don't try to talk. Just talk when it feels like it. Now, having said that, this is really an important sort of excursion that you might not have seen coming, but we really want to talk about this. We want to talk about the word inspiration. How when you just feel compelled to go there, to say it or to follow it. And this is the part that you probably have not considered, but it is part of this leading edge conversation. You can be on a disc that feels like anger and have spun there long enough that you've really got strong momentum going, and you will be inspired to words. You know what we're talking about. You can be in depression.
Oh, yeah.
And you can be inspired to words. You can be in elation and be inspired to words. So we're just saying, pick your disc. Pick your disc and then reach for inspiration. So that'd be a good way to do it. Lie in your bed before you go to sleep at night and just anticipate that tomorrow you're going to feel great. And when you wake up, just say, okay, I choose this disc. And how would I define that disc? Since I seem to need to put words to something, I need to focus on it. What to me best represents that disc? And then find some words and focus on it. But don't try to force it. Just try to prime the pump just a little bit. And in that absence of resistance, the pump will be primed and the inspiration will begin to flow. And then if you've got a journal with you, Esther sat even before this gathering waiting for her cue of the music, and she is typing in her iPhone inspirational words that just cue her right there. Fun, always fun. Fun, always fun. She just typed it with her thumb 2 or 3 times. Fun, always fun. Mm-hmm. Always fun. And anything that just causes you to focus and feel, focus and feel, focus and feel, focus and feel. It's not a complicated thing. Focus and feel.
Yeah, I remember you one of the workshops talking about, like meditating, just like just when I like I just want to feel. A lot of times there are no words.
You see, we have some understanding. We have a premise that we begin with that says, if you don't do that thing that you do, your vibration will automatically raise. Well, do you believe that? Have you shown that to yourself? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do you believe that unless you do that other thing, do you believe that you have habits of doing that other thing? Do you believe that you can break those habits of doing that other thing? Mm-hmm. Can you use determination and not do that other thing? Yeah. No. You cannot use determination and not do that other thing, because the very determination to not do that other thing is doing that other thing. The determination to not do something is throwing gasoline on the fire. And so you've got to start in another place. That's why we call this the art of allowing. For a while we called it deliberate creation. And you just got freaky about it. You'd get on a thought and go, try to suck it back. Try to suck it back before law of attraction got hold of it. Because law of attraction just began freaking you out. And so then we began explaining that step 1, you've already done. You've already asked. And step 2, source is already done. Now you got to do that chilling out part. Now you got to do that allowing part. Now you got to do that believing part. Now you got to do that expecting part. Now you got to do that easier part. You just cannot demand yourself into alignment. You can't punish yourself into alignment. You can't guilt yourself into alignment or anyone else. In other words, you love yourself into alignment. You put yourself in pause to get to alignment. So the premise that we begin with, that we want to help you return to, is that you are pure positive energy. You are worthy of good things. You are source energy in a physical body. You've been exploring contrast, which is a wonderful thing. You are the reason for the expansion of the universe. The universe is expanding because of your willingness to experience contrast. You mean to have step 1 moments. We never want you to stop having step 1 moments, which means we never want you to stop dipping from that high-flying disc. We want you to have plenty of other exposure to plenty other life experiences on plenty other discs. We just want you to be aware of it when it's happening and always know that you have the ability to choose and that you've got resources and sources and forces of the universe that are working with you at all times. Just this little bit of knowledge will help you to direct yourself within this current that is always moving toward what you are wanting. We just want you to have more fun in it. We want it to stop being such a struggle for you. We want you to relax and go with the flow, with the natural flow of your natural well-being, you see. We want you to understand that when you apply effort, just the very feeling of effort, think about effort. You know what effort is about? Effort is having chosen a lower disc and trying to get results on a higher disc. So you effort in order to make the difference. And there's not enough action in the world to make up for that vibrational difference. Doesn't it seem prudent to just pick higher discs? Yeah, Abraham, it seems prudent, but it's hard to do. Stop saying that. Yeah, Abraham, it seems prudent, but I'm not very good at it. Stop saying that. Yeah, Abraham, it seems prudent. It seems prudent. I don't really want to talk with that yet. I don't want to talk about this anymore. It seems prudent. It seems prudent. It's just not the easiest thing to do, but it's getting easier. I'm getting better and better at it. It's easier and easier for me on different subjects. What is the subject that's the easiest subject? Just call it out if you want to. What subject is the easiest subject for you to choose a high-flying disc about? Of all the subjects, you've got body, you've got relationships, you've got money, you've got children, you've got animals, you've got nature.
Nature.
What
Animals.
subject is the easiest for you to choose a high-flying disc?
Nature, animals.
So now think about why. Your pets, your animals, first of all, they never say to you, I need closure on this. They never say to you, I need to talk to you about this. I don't think you know how I feel. You never hear that from one of them. I don't think you know how I feel. They gravitate up there. And why? What's the difference between them and you? Less resistance, but there's another really important factor.
General.
In light of this conversation that we've just been having.
Feeling, general.
They have no words. They have no words. They don't use words to practice momentums that don't serve them. You use words.
Okay, so I have a question
to practice
right in
momentum
there.
that doesn't serve you. This is such an important
Yes,
conversation to have.
Okay, so
you use your words. Stay with us just a
Okay.
minute. So why do you use your words so much? Why do you use your words so much? Think about, why do you use any words at all? Because you're trying to communicate with somebody else. So why do you want to communicate with somebody else? Now, there are a lot of reasons. You might want to lyrically romp with them. You might want to join in a harmonic chorus with them. But usually the reason that you are using your words is because you are trying to protect your position, or you're trying to convince them of your position. Don't you think? Most of your words are about trying to be understood. Ooh. You're using your words for validation, for justification, to try to be understood. So what if you decided that you were going to use your words just for a little while? It's like the difference between praying to fix a problem or praying out of appreciation. Use your words to practice momentum of a vibration. Use your words to compliment, not to explain. Use your words to uplift, not to defend. Use your words sparingly, which you don't learn from us because we really give you a lot of words in a short period of time. But use your words. Don't you think we've come across something pretty significant? That the subject that's the easiest for you to feel good about are your wordless friends, your things in nature. And the reason for that is because you have not practiced a vibration that is holding you chronically in a place that feels differently.